Hello YouTube, I'm here to do a long overdue update. I have Silas here on me in the ergo. You can't see him all that well. A little bit of an eyebrow there. He is almost 3 months old. He'll be 3 months old on September 27th. So that's like a little less than a week from now. So I thought I'd go ahead and just do kind of like a general overall update and include his update in that. So I'll start with him. He's doing really well. He's very, very sweet. We do have from like 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. a very fussy time of day. I'm taking a risk because that's right now. Right now it's like 5:30, 5:45. But this is a time where I just have Silas with me, and that only happens like once every other, I don't know, 2 weeks or so. So, yeah, so he is doing well, but those fussy times are hard. He is smiling and cooing and starting to interact with Natalie and Sam. For those of you that have never watched any of my updates before, Natalie, my daughter, is 19 months old. So her and Silas are 16 months apart, almost 17 months apart. And then my oldest child has just started third grade, and he is 8.5, and he is loving third grade. So that makes life very easy that he's loving school and he's excited to go. And he's never really not been excited, but he's more excited this year. And so that makes me feel really good when he's gone during the daytime. So right now I am staying home with both of the babies. I've been staying home for quite a while now, 19 months since Natalie was born. I did do some classes in the evenings before Silas was born. So I was gone sometimes in the evening for like 4 or 5 hours, 2 or 3 days a week. And then I stopped that once I got pregnant with Silas. So yeah, I'll be going back to school in January. And I'm trying to just kind of cherish this time that I have being a full stay-at-home mom. When I do go back to school, though, I'll be in school full time, but I won't be gone full time, if that makes sense. So yeah, back to the babies and family and all of that. 2 under 2 is challenging. I mean, there are days where I'm like, oh my God. And then there are other days where I feel like I've got it under control. And then like an hour later, something awful happens. When they're both crying at the same time, that's hard. But when they sort of kind of start to interact like they are now, and just kind of seeing them both like lay together at the same time, I mean, it makes it all worth it when I think of the long term having kids that close together, because I've never had that before. Also, Sammy, my 8-year-old, is just phenomenal with Silas. It took him, a good month. And then after that first month, he is really just stepped into being a big brother, more than I ever could have imagined. Like, he comes home from school and the first thing he wants to do is wash his hands so he can hold Silas. Whereas with Natalie, not that he loves Silas more, because he loves them both, of course, but I think him being a boy, you know how it is. It's like he's my brother. And Natalie's our only girl, so she gets spoiled in that way. Don't feel too bad. But yeah, he comes home and he just wants to hold him right away, and it's cool to see that he's so into being a big brother. And Silas smiles at Sam like more than anyone else, so that's also funny. Keep saying yeah. What else is going on? Silas is probably like 14 or 15 pounds. He's doing really well with sleeping at night now for about 2 weeks. Knock on wood. There's lots of wood here. I don't want to jinx myself. He has been sleeping anywhere from 4 to the max was 7 hours at night, straight through. So that is wonderful. But as I said, it does come at the cost of him being really fussy from 4 to 7 p.m. So those 3 hours, I have a really hard time putting him down. But I think that's pretty typical of babies. Of course, not all babies are like that, like to that extent. But I think a lot of babies do get fussy at that time of day, maybe just being overstimulated or whatever. So I wear him in the ergo a lot, like when we go out anywhere, because I pretty much have to. I have a double stroller, but you know how that is. It's just, yeah, I pretty much have to wear him so that I can control Natalie too. So I'll make a separate video on 2 under 2. So I don't want to go too far into that. As far as myself, I am doing really well. I have kind of drastically changed my diet. Part of that is just because I want more energy, and as always, I want to lose weight. I've been trying to lose weight and get to a healthy weight range, a healthy BMI for like ever. And I kind of go hardcore and then fall off like 2 weeks later, or like maybe a month later. I'll just kind of fall off the bandwagon. And I've made weight loss videos on here. And yeah, so I'm kind of heading in the right direction right now with that. I was inspired by wanting more energy and, like I said, breastfeeding too, because I started to wonder if the dairy in my diet was affecting Silas, if that had something to do with his fussiness. Or he doesn't seem constipated, but there are times where it seems like he's fussy from gas. Like Natalie was like that too. Yeah. And anyway, so I have cut out dairy, like 99% of dairy. The only time that I'll eat dairy is, let's say we're, like in a social situation and someone has made a dish that may have cheese in it or something like that, then I will eat it. But as far as like what I'm making for myself and what I'm eating most of the time, I am avoiding dairy and just trying to eat more plant foods, more whole foods. So far, so good. I'm actually losing weight, like really losing weight. I actually weigh less now than before I had Silas and Natalie. So that's super motivating. At the same time, I'm really far from a healthy weight. So that's kind of, there again, I feel like maybe I should make a separate video for that. I don't know. I might do that. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to update on myself and postpartum. As far as like postpartum after you have a baby, bleeding, all that stuff, completely stopped. I had a really easy time recovering. The end of my pregnancy was so hard that I think once he was born, I was just relieved. I did have swelling for 10 or 11 days, almost 2 weeks after he was born, like severe swelling, where my ankles looked like almost worse than when I was pregnant. So they were like huge cankles, basically. And once all the swelling went away, I just felt like $1,000,000. So eating healthier foods has helped my energy levels, and I really need it chasing around 2 babies. Trying to think of anything else. That's pretty much it. We're pretty settled into our house. We've been living here now for 4 months. We moved in like a month before we had Silas, which was crazy. And we're loving it. And school's back in session, and it's almost fall, and everything is good. So I want to show Silas, but he's been really fussy, so I'm kind of scared to wake him up. I'll show what I can of him. You're getting spit all over my shirt. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Oh, he's blocking you with his hand. Yeah, it's just kind of crazy. It's crazy to think I have 3 kids. Like, what? I have 3 kids. Nuts. What's also really crazy is to think that this time last year, Natalie was 6, 7 months old, like just sitting up, and she was kind of I don't know if she was a late crawler, a little bit. She was like a late crawler, early walker. I don't know. It's so mind-blowing to think that was only a year ago. And now she's walking around talking in, 3-4 word phrases, reading books, like singing every song ever. I mean, she acts like she's 2, 3 years old already. Like when she was turning 1, she was acting like she was almost 2. So now that she's 1.5, it's like she's just growing so fast and learning so much, and she's a lot of fun, but it's kind of heartbreaking. It's like, oh. So I'm just trying to work on, being okay with them growing. I don't know. Do moms ever get better with that? Does that ever get better? I don't think so, because Sammy is 8.5, and I still think of him as being like really, really little. But now that we have the babies, we do need his help more. So that kind of makes it feel like he's older, I guess. I'm blabbering now. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys are all doing well. Sorry that I'm MIA a lot. I know you guys can understand. It's just hard to record. It's hard to make it a priority. But I'll try to be better, because I love the community and I want to be more involved. And I am going to do a little bit more on weight loss and stuff. So hopefully that won't be annoying to people. I don't know, because I know some people are subscribed to this channel and it's just like mommy pregnancy. So if you don't like weight loss updates and stuff, just ignore them. All right, bye.